Hey there, thrill seekers and night owls scrolling for spine-tingling tales. If you're into real-life inspired horror stories about national park disappearances, supernatural encounters in the wilderness, or creepy legends of haunted forests, buckle up. This one's drawn from whispers of unsolved missing persons cases in places like Redwood National Park, those eerie accounts of hikers vanishing without a trace, fueling urban myths and viral creepypasta threads. Think Missing 411 vibes meets ancient woodland terror. But remember, this is fiction, or is it? Dive in if you dare, and share if it keeps you up at night. My name's Alara, close enough to who I used to be, but I've changed it for reasons that'll become clear. Back then, I was a fresh wildlife guardian intern, just 24, chasing dreams of protecting vast timberlands in one of California's most iconic reserves, the towering Redwood groves. You know the spot, those colossal sentinels stretching skyward, older than empires, where fog clings like a shroud and silence swallows screams. I craved the solitude, escaping the chaos of city life, the endless buzz of people who never truly saw you. Solo shifts were my escape, trekking off the beaten paths to scout for intruders, unauthorized fires, or signs of wildlife distress. Autumn hit hard that year, leaves turning blood red, air crisp with decay, and the mist rolling in like a living entity, blurring lines between reality and nightmare. I geared up for an overnight vigil deep in the backwoods, miles from any trailhead or signal tower. No cell service, no backup, just me, a backpack stuffed with essentials, a flickering headlamp, and a sturdy hatchet for chopping kindling or fending off wildlife. The rangers joked about forest fever, those tall tales of guardians losing their minds in the isolation, but I brushed it off. I'd read the reports, unexplained vanishings in national parks, bodies never recovered, search parties finding only abandoned gear. But those were just stories, right? Fuel for podcasts and Reddit forums on paranormal wilderness encounters. I pitched my shelter by a murmuring stream, under behemoths that loomed like forgotten gods. The canopy blocked the moon, turning the world into inky blackness punctuated by my small fire's glow. I sipped herbal brew, jotting notes in my logbook, the crackle of flames my only company. As the clock ticked past the witching hour, the murmurs began. Not the rustle of breeze through needles or the distant hoot of nocturnal birds. No, these were utterances, overlaid, ethereal, emanating from the very cores of the trunks around me. Soft at first, like echoes from a dream you can't shake. Alara, linger here, become one with us. I froze, heart pounding like a trapped animal. Fatigue, I told myself, long hikes, thin air at elevation, maybe dehydration playing tricks. But the phrases sharpened, weaving my name into their chorus, as if they'd plucked it from my thoughts. I scanned the gloom, beam of light cutting through vapor, revealing nothing but twisted roots and moss-draped bark. Yet the voices persisted, multiplying, a symphony of pleas and commands. Then the earth stirred. Beneath my boots, the soil heaved subtly, like a chest rising with breath. Tendrils, gnarled, vein-like extensions from the roots, emerged from the undergrowth, inching forward with deliberate intent. Not random growth, this was predatory, probing. One coiled around a nearby rock, squeezing until it cracked with a sharp pop. Another brushed my shelter's edge, testing the fabric, then retracting as if savoring the texture. Panic clawed at my throat. I emerged from the enclosure, fog enveloping me like icy fingers. Visibility dropped to arm's length, the world a swirling gray haze. And there, materializing in the murk, forms embedded in the timber. Humanoid outlines, dozens of them, merged seamlessly into the wood grain. Limbs contorted into boughs, torsos bulging from trunks like grotesque carvings. Flesh melded with fiber, skin textured like peeling cortex, mouths agape in eternal howls, eyes, oh God, the eyes, bulging, unblinking, filled with a desperate sentience. They tracked my movements, those orbs reflecting my light back at me with a malevolent gleam. Worst of all, one visage mirrored mine. Identical. The faint blemish on my cheek from a long-ago mishap, the uneven smile lines from forced grins in a lonely life. This doppelganger embedded in the bark-mouthed silent words, lips fused to the surface, but I heard it in my skull, Alara, it's peaceful here, no more running. A limb, thick, animated, lashed out from above, ensnaring my leg with a vice-like grip. It yanked savagely, slamming me to the forest floor, breath exploding from my lungs. The tendrils surged then, a writhing mass enveloping my limbs, neck, torso. Cold, pulsating, they burrowed under my skin, not piercing but invading, siphoning. It wasn't just physical, a torrent of visions assaulted me. Flashes of others, solitary wanderers, lost souls seeking refuge in the wilds. A young adventurer, backpack laden, vanishing into mist, his final terror as roots dragged him under, memories leaching out like sap. An elder guardian, decades on the job, his regrets of a life unlived fueling the growth. A family of campers, separated in fog, their cries absorbed into the chorus. Each essence stolen, woven into the rings of these eternal predators. The groves weren't just alive, they were voracious archives of human frailty, thriving on the solitude that drew us in, the despair of being utterly forsaken. Strength ebbed away. My vision tunneled, body growing heavy as if turning to wood. I glimpsed the process, flesh softening, bones calcifying into heartwood, thoughts splintering into whispers. They'd ensnared hundreds over centuries, native lore whispered of spirit groves, where the land claimed the lonely, but colonizers dismissed it as superstition. Now I knew, these ancient titans, survivors of loggers and fires, had evolved a hunger. They lured the isolated, fed on psychic anguish, expanding their domain with each victim. Time dilated, I felt eons in moments, the slow pulse of arboreal life mocking human brevity. Desperation surged. My fingers found the hatchet's handle. I swung wildly, blade biting into the encircling appendage. A guttural groan echoed, not mine, but from the grove itself. Dark resin sprayed, acrid and scorching, blistering my flesh in intricate patterns mimicking root networks. I hacked again, severing the hold on my ankle, the pain a white-hot anchor to reality. Tendrils recoiled, thrashing like wounded serpents. I scrambled up, limbs numb, blood mingling with sap. Stumbled through the fog, branches clawing at my clothes, whispers chasing, you'll return, we all do. Hours blurred into a haze of agony. Dawn's pale fingers pierced the canopy, dissolving the mist. The utterances faded to mere wind sighs. I collapsed on a service road, vision spotting black. Rescue crew located me, ragged, feverish, markings etched deep into my skin. They spun tales of delirium from tainted streams, self-inflicted wounds and panic. Hypothermia hallucination, the medics claimed, patching me with skeptical glances. My gear vanished. No trace of my sight, as if the earth had swallowed it whole. Investigations turned up zilch, standard protocol for those bizarre national park enigmas that make headlines then fade. But my scars? They pulse on stormy nights, root-like veins throbbing under flesh, a permanent map of that encounter. Doctors call it dermatographia from trauma, but I've seen scans. The patterns align with Redwood vascular systems, down to the cellular level, life post that. A shadow existence. I fled the coasts, pulling up in urban sprawls where concrete drowns out nature's call. No more hikes, not even suburban green spaces. Yet the pull lingers. In crowded subways, I catch faint murmurs in the hum of vents. Dreams replay the absorption, waking sweat-soaked. Checking mirrors for bark creeping over skin. I've scoured online forums, threads on haunted redwood legends, survivor accounts of whispering woods in other parks, Yosemite, Olympic, even overseas in ancient European forests. Patterns emerge, loners targeted, disappearances spiking in fog seasons. Official denials, but leaked docs hint at cover-ups, rangers warned off certain zones, labeled high-risk ecological areas. And the voices? They follow. In any quiet patch of greenery, especially solo, they resurface. Patient. Insidious. Ilara, the grove awaits, bring others. They've adapted. Not content with waiting, now they urge propagation. I've resisted, but how long? The twist, last month, a news clip, another intern gone missing in the same sector. Gear found, tent intact, but a carving on a nearby trunk, my face, etched fresh. The ancients aren't sated. They're expanding, root by root, whisper by whisper. If you're drawn to solo adventures in secluded woodlands, chasing that thrill of isolation amid towering timbers, pause. Research those viral stories of forest vanishings, the supernatural park horrors that go unsolved. Because the groves remember every intruder. They hunger for the forsaken. They know your secrets. And once they call your name, you'll answer.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a twist. Stay tuned to Reddit Tales Times for your daily dose of drama, laughs, and unbelievable stories.